Hello everyone, Gundorix here with a friend.
This is Misty from Magtheridon.
Misty is one of the best elemental shamans on the server, and today actually we're going to be talking about gear, so here you go. In this guide we're going to be talking about gearing, we're going to be talking about enchanting, gemming, reforging, stat preferences, and gearing in general for specific things such as specific stats, etc. So, the first big thing I want to talk about though is, Misty, what do you think on the differences between haste and mastery? Like, what do you think might be better for this season?
Depending on if you're running 3v3 or 5v5, I think 3v3 haste might be better due to people training you a lot more than 5v5. Haste, if you can get off the cast in 3v3, it's a lot easier to run it with haste than mastery. 5v5, elemental shamans really don't get trained too hard, so you can probably just put down your totem and have a ball with it.
Right. I haven't really done that much 5v5. I'm going to start soon, but I haven't really done much this season, so I'm not exactly sure. But it's good to have like different ideas, on what may be better and everything. So, just first, we're going to be talking about the enchants that we're going to need to use for patch 4.2 season 10. I'm going to start with the helmet and go on from there, and Misty, if I mess up somewhere, let me know. On the helmet, you're going to want to get the Toberad or Honor enchant. You can get it from buying it with honor points. I think it's 1,000 honor points. It's the 60 intellect, 35 resilience rating enchant that goes onto your helmet, and you can't enchant your necklace. On your shoulders, you're going to want to get the same kind of enchant, the PvP enchant. It gives you 50 intellect and 25 resilience. On your cloak, you want to get the 30 intellect, but if you can afford it, you can get the 50 intellect. Personally, I think that the 30 intellect and 50 intellect enchants are a lot better than the 50 critical strike rating because, intellect overall gives you more damage. On your chest, get the plus 40 resilience rating. It just helps, just having the extra resilience compared to the plus 20 all stats. So definitely get the plus 40 resilience.
Don't get rolled as quick.
On your wrist, I guess, get the plus 50 haste rating. What else? What other enchants are there? I think there's a greater enchant, maybe.
I think there's one intellect one, but it's not as good as haste, so it's like 16 intellect.
Are you using the haste one?
Yeah, I'm using haste.
I think if you're a leather worker, you can get the plus 130 intellect, so if you're a leather worker, go ahead and use that. Ow, just hit my hand. On your weapon, go ahead and get Power Torrent. It's the best enchant for Elemental Shaman. The extra 500 intellect when it procs is really, really amazing. On your shield, get plus 40 intellect. It's definitely the best enchant for your offhand. You cannot enchant your relic. Now on the gloves, it just depends on what you're stacking. If you're stacking mastery, then get the plus 50 mastery rating enchant, and if you're stacking haste, get the plus 50 haste rating enchant. And I think there's a better enchant for, I think, both of those. I'm not really sure. I have no idea, like plus 65 or something.
Something like that.
I have no idea. So if there is one, don't take my word for it, but, always trying to get the better one. On the belt, get the belt buckle for the extra gem socket, definitely. On your pants, get the 95 intellect and 80 stamina enchant. It's a lot better than the 80 spirit, just because it's more survivability if you have the stamina. So definitely get that on your pants. On your boots, if you're stacking mastery, again, you can get the plus 50 mastery, or if you're stacking haste, get the plus 50 haste. You can't enchant your rings, and trinkets you cannot enchant either. So that really goes over basically everything you need for enchants. Okay, and now let's go over gemming. It really just depends on what you're stacking. Like, if you're stacking mastery, you may want to gem more mastery. if you're stacking haste, you may want to gym haste. But the best stat that you need to gym, personally, in my opinion, and I'm sure that a lot of other elemental shamans, Misty, would agree. Intellect, definitely, right?
Yep, top
Yeah.
one.
If you have a red socket, you definitely want to go for the plus 40 intellect gym. And if you have a yellow socket, you would want to go for the 20 intellect and 20 haste and or 20 mastery. Right. Now, for me, I somehow was able to get 6% haste and 15.03% or 15.03 mastery. Like, I just kind of played around with my gear. So I'm using a plus 20 intellect, plus 20 haste rating, but you're free to really just do whatever you want. Go ahead and use mastery gems if you want. If you're going all out on mastery and you don't really care about your haste at all, then go ahead and use 20 intellect, 20 mastery. But definitely just make sure you're gemming intellect, mainly because it's the biggest stat that gives you damage, really. More intellect means more damage, so
If you don't have a lot of spell power, just go home, play enhance or something.
exactly. So I'll just go over my gear real quick, I guess. For the helmet, your meta gem, get the 54 intellect, 3 critical strike damage. I think that's the Burning Shadow Spirit Diamond. For red sockets, get 40 intellect. For yellow sockets, get 20 intellect, 20 haste or mastery. Depends on what you're doing. And for the blue slots, I guess, yeah, get 20 elect, 20 hit, because you really should not be spec'd into elemental precision this season. It's kind of worthless, and you really don't need to use spirit, because it's pretty much pointless this season as well for elemental shamans because of the rolling thunder talent. So now we're going to talk about Reforging, which is one of the, like, that's the main thing this expansion is Reforging. It's how you reforge. So if you're a mastery shaman, if you're just gonna go all out with mastery, obviously you're gonna reforge mastery onto all of your gear, and the same with haste. But I've somehow found a way to come out at 30% chance for overload to proc, which is 15.03 mastery for me, and I somehow came out with 6.01 haste. So this, I find it to be the best thing for me right now, because I'm doing 3v3. I don't really do 5v5 that much, so I'm trying mastery right now, and I think Misty, you are as well.
Yeah, I'm at about 3.17% haste and 33% chance on overload. So I'm just going all out with it and checking it out.
Right. So I've heard from a lot of comments from my YouTube viewers as well that there's just really a huge, vast differentiation on people stacking mastery and haste. Like, still arguments going on about which one is better.
Those arguments will be out probably until this expansion's done with. So
yeah.
Depending on what you guys like. I mean, like I said, in 3v3, to me it would seem like haste would benefit more, because on LE Shaman you're just going to get trained to the ground. So the faster caster you can get, the better. But in 5v5, I mean, I play with like 3 other casters. I play full caster cleave. So, you know, you set on me or whatever, you got 2 other guys to back me up. So I'm just packing into mastery.
Right.
So if they train them, I'm just overloading people and just melting face the entire game.
Well, there's another theory with that. I've seen a lot of people who, maybe in 3s, if you're running Elemental Shaman Warlock, I've seen a lot of shamans who are running that comp. They've been stacking haste, and that's because of the Dark Intent ability that Warlocks give to the shaman at the beginning of the match. Gives you 3% more haste.
Right.
And then with the totem, like when I'm stacking haste, I normally get up to about 12%, 11 point 7, 8 or something like that. And with Dark Intent and my totem down, Wrath of Air, I normally end up at about 18, 19% haste. And I guess that would be good because, well, normally teams are just gonna, good teams anyway, in threes are gonna stick on an Elemental Shaman so that they can't cast. If, like, for say, double melee teams, definitely gonna stick on an Elemental Shaman the whole time. So I guess that haste would technically be better for that, but personally I've been finding that it really doesn't make that much of a difference if you have maybe 5% haste or 12% haste, because I'm if you're decent, you know, you'll know how to peel pretty well with Earthbind Totem and Thunderstorm and putting your shield down, so, or Stoneclaw, you know, and your Warlock should also be peeling for you, so you really should be able to get a cast off. Plus I roll with a Holy Paladin, so I get those freedoms, and when I do, I can just put down an Earthbind Totem and run away and start casting. So right now, I'm actually trying Mastery for threes, and so far we've done pretty well with it. It's really just it's not really, I don't know how to explain it. It's just that unexpected damage just really gets people sometimes. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Like
It's,
sometimes, let's say that you're trying to get a target down, you're trying to kill a target, and you pop Elemental Mastery and an instant lava burst, and like they get down to what 10k maybe, and then they line of sight you behind a pole, and then if Mastery procs, it's still gonna get to them, and then you get that kill. Like that's happened to me a few times, and
yeah.
that's just like wow, like whoa, yeah, I'm so happy I got an Elemental Mastery proc right there, or a Overload proc, you know. But I don't know. It's really just differentiation. Drainer X, the best Elemental Shaman, he's the highest rated in the world. He plays on EU though, so it's a completely different playstyle. So, I mean, he's stacking Haste, and he's, I think, 2800, 2900 or so. But I've seen that Novos, one of the best Elemental Shamans in the US, is using Mastery right now. I'm not really sure what he's doing because he hasn't been playing a Shaman that much, but, or if he is, I'm not really sure what Shaman he's playing on because he has a lot. But for his Warlock did a stream recently on Darkspear, and I looked up his armory of the character he was on, and that character was Elemental Spec, and he was stacking Mastery, and I mean, it just seems like it's better right now. Just the extra damage just really, really helps. I mean, I really don't know. Just maybe for 3v3 stacking haste is better, just because, like, I don't know, maybe, you know, you're getting trained, like Misty said. It's good to get a cast off sometimes. But, that extra mastery, like I've found it really not that much of a problem to get a cast off if I'm not stacking haste, because with 6% haste and the dark intent and with my totem down, I'm normally around 14% haste, which is what I would normally have if I just had my Wrath of Air down without dark intent. So I mean, I'm really getting my cast off just as fast as I would normally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, both of us are using the Soul Casket trinkets, so we're losing out on a little bit of resilience, but we're both spec'd into Spark of Life, which gives us 15% increased healing. So, I really don't see the point in having double PvP trinkets this season. Personally, I could just go with Soul Casket or Moonwell Chalice. You get that from Firelands if you do quests in Firelands. It's a really good trinket. It's plus 340 intellect, and if you use it, it gives you 1700 mastery for 20 seconds. I've been using that a little bit, so I don't really know anything else. What do you think?
Well, just the difference between like last season's gear and this season's gear has a serious stat upgrade. So with that being said, you're like last season, if you were stacking haste, it was probably pretty decent. I mean, because the stats on it weren't like oh my god, amazing. But now it's like, with more gear available and more stats available through gear, you can kind of stack and play around with different stats also.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
What do you,
always like a proven fact with like the later gear in the seasons, casters end up owning because they more gear available. Because we're very gear dependent. So
right. So, do you think that maybe during the last season of Cataclysm, whenever that is, they'll have like enough stats on the gear for us to be maybe for just for elemental shamans to be going half and half with 10%
more than
haste and
likely,
then
yeah.
maybe still be getting 30% mastery because I'm seeing a nerf incoming.
I think even with like the end of this season, when we get all of like the gear and everything like that, I'll probably end up with like 36% mastery over the chance. So I mean, with that said, I mean, I can cut down half of that or a portion of it to put more haste on, and then go from there. But
Right. Let's go over the target dummies really quick and just show people how much we can actually proc our elemental mastery. Or I keep saying that because the mastery and elemental derp, elemental overload. So here we are, we're at the target dummies, and we're just gonna like throw out a few lightning bolts. We'll show you guys how much we can actually just proc elemental overload. You say whenever you get one, and I'll tell you whenever I get
alright,
one.
you got 2,
Yep,
3,
I got one
4.
right there.
I just got 4.
I mean, it's really just a big like help in those tight situations when you're trying to get a lot of damage off, and maybe you can't really get it with just your initial damage, and then it procs, and then you get that extra damage. Like I've been noticing that if I get an elemental overload proc on a lava burst, like that's just wow.
Yeah, it's about if your first lava burst crits with everything going, it's probably about 30-something thousand.
Maybe on resilience targets, but on this target dummy right here,
I've seen it crit up to about 54k.
54k, yeah. Because my lava bursts are normally critting about 30k, so I just see the mastery proc and it hits the target dummy for about 20k, so that's maybe 50k damage right there. It's pretty good. Now another thing that we could probably talk about is lava surge talent. The differences from that procking with haste and without it.
With the haste, it's good, but in all reality, when you pop elemental mastery, I have about 30% haste with that. Maybe even more, I'm not even sure. So really, when you pop that, that's where all your burst is going to come from in those couple seconds. And
Which
then
is
just wait it out a little bit and then burst again.
which is why that feedback talent was also really good too.
Exactly.
I noticed that you're only putting 2 into elemental warding, and then you're just gonna go all out of 3 out of 3 with feedback.
Yeah, because with casters you could just LOS half their damage anyways. I mean, you can have. I just put 2 in just to be safe, but I have no problems LOSing half the time.
Right. I kind of realized that Lava Surge, it kind of procs more when you're stacking mastery. I don't know if that's just my luck or maybe, I'm not really sure, but I've spent maybe 20 minutes just sitting at a target dummy just trying to count, and then I'll go back and I'll like count how many times Lava Surge procs, and I'll go back and reforge back to haste, count how many times, and I guess like within a certain time span, and it really just, it's really random number generator. Like,
Yeah,
it's just wow. I really can't
really all
tell
this
you.
game is just RNG. I mean, it's really nothing else to it.
They kind of made Elemental Shaman RNG in general, just with our mastery now being one of our main damage things, and just Rolling Thunder's RNG, Elemental, let's see, what else is RNG? I don't even know. Let's see.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything. Most of the main things. Lava Surge is RNG. A lot of things of Elemental Shaman are random number generator reliance. So, I mean, I don't know. Just stacking mastery right now seems to be the thing to do. mastery and crit. I'm using this spec right now for this gear that I'm using. I spec out of convection because I'm, you know, finding that with the gear upgrade, when rolling thunder talent, whatever it's called, whenever it procs and gives you back mana, it's giving you back more, so you don't really need the 10% like damage, offensive spells reduction, mana reduction, you know. I mean, I just went ahead and spec'd into the 2% more crit just for more damage. But yeah, and I don't know, man. Just mastery seems to be the way to go right now. Now, I'm not saying that it's better or anything, but personally, from my experience, lava burst overload proc right there for 24k. But yeah, from I guess both of our experiences, mastery just seems to be the best thing to do if you're a 5v5 hero or if you're a 3v3 hero. I mean, just when you use elemental mastery, like when your target's at 40k, they're really not going to expect that damage. And then if you get a mastery proc on the whatever you do elemental mastery with, hopefully it's a lava burst, it's just going to be like, wow, they really didn't see that coming.
Huge damage, dude. Like in that video I made, I crit that shaman for like 32k and then I get close to 20k, the other one followed by it. Blast him with a 24k lightning bolt and then a 20-something k earth shock. So it's huge damage with the lava burst on the freaking overload.
Oh, right. Talking about yesterday, you told me that feedback procced from your mastery.
I think so.
No, it does not. I actually tested it yesterday. You see, in that video you made, you had a glitch in the game. A lot of people have been talking to me about this. It's like some glitch where the damage appears twice, and it actually does the damage. So in that video, the double crits that you saw, like for the exact same amount of damage, it was part of a glitch. And maybe feedback actually procced from the double damage on a lightning bolt or a chain lightning or so.
Wow.
Yep.
Did not know about the glitch, so lucky glitch.
Big crits times 2.
Yeah.
Like in that video, you were hitting people for maybe a 34k fulmination, and then all of a sudden you'd get another 34k fulmination, and that was definitely the glitch.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So yeah, just tell us what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section. Show this to your other Elemental Shaman friends. Like, let us know what you think. What do you think is better this season, Mastery or Haste? I mean, personally, I think that it could go either way depending on what your comp is. Let's say for Lock Shaman, maybe Haste is better, and then maybe for Elemental Shaman, Mage, maybe Mastery is a lot better. So, leave a comment, tell us what you think, and thanks for watching, guys. Do you have any final things to say, Misty, before we go?
Pretty much that all, man. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys do well this season.
Peace out. Gundorix out, Misty out. See you guys.
Never let it go.